Whoa, man. It's only me.
This week on Dark Corners, wild optimism.
So you can't prove I was even drunk.
And the reptiles take industrial action.
Rattlesnakes give you warning before they strike.
One out, all out.
I think I'll stick to working with birds. They don't strike at all.
Scabs. Rattlers opens with happy children at play. Incredibly traumatic opening, but
They need an authority on rattlesnakes, and they're willing to pay me $200 to go out there and consult with them tomorrow.
there's always a silver lining. Doctor of herpetology Tom Parkinson is called to Nevada following the recent deaths. And they're not the only ones.
Too quick up, boy.
First the kids, now a dog. This movie takes no prisoners. I guess that's less shocking, but personally I like chickens. Tom checks the location, escorted by classic Dark Corners breakout character, Officer I'll Be Dying Later.
So here I am. Got a good-looking wife, 2 kids, the car's paid off, and we just bought a boat.
Tom delivers his verdict.
I've just never heard of a rattlesnake making an unprovoked attack on a man before.
Those little turds probably asked for it. Now where's my $200? He leaves, but on a nearby farm...
Dad, is that you?
Did the snake set fire to him? Of all the snakes that might try and sneak up on someone, the rattlesnake feels like the one that might struggle. Tom is called back.
The barn's been burned, the whole family's been killed, and even the livestock.
Yeah, that sounds like snakes. Instantly recognizing his civic duty.
That seems like a lot to do.
But, you know, $200. He meets his new partner.
Sheriff Yates in? I'm Ann Bradley, photographer.
Look, Sheriff, can I talk to you for a minute? Outside.
Another recipient of the Dark Corners Roger Moore Award for...
A woman?
He has legitimate concerns.
I can't take that girl out there. I mean, I've got to have somebody that can at least take care of themselves.
I'm not having a woman handling my snake. The sheriff is more progressive.
Believe me, she's a better photographer than most of the men we've used, and a hell of a lot prettier.
Wow, that sentence went downhill fast. Tom makes his peace with Anne because, you know, he'll probably be banging her by the end of the film. But it's worse than he thought.
Because all the promotions and executive positions are held down by men.
She's one of those women's lib types.
Tell me, doctor, how many professors in your department are women?
How will this ever resolve?
If I had my choice in the matter, you'd be sitting on your liberated ass back in that sheriff's department instead of out here with me where you don't belong in the first place.
It just does.
You should have seen these hills about 2 weeks ago. They were just covered with wildflowers for as far as you could see.
Hey, I bet you're hungry. How'd you like some bacon and eggs?
Having argued, then stopped for no reason, they then become flirtatious friends for equally no reason. Neither their argument nor her feminism are ever referenced again. It's just a way of giving Anne a character that goes beyond love interest. They visit one of the victims in hospital.
Excuse me, you David Allister?
I wasn't doing anything. Then head out into the desert to spend the night.
No, I thought we'd set up camp here tonight and check that out first thing in the morning.
Well, it's not exactly the Hilton, but at least there won't be any smog.
Elsewhere, a snake gets friendly with a plumber. Yeah, I'd scream too. And his client. Wow, I bet she leaves a terrible review on Yelp. In the morning, finally got the tent up. They decide where to search.
Now, if you draw a connecting line between all these points, look where it winds up.
Pretty sure I've seen this before.
A perfect pattern in time and distance.
Fort Walton.
So they head to Fort Walton on the basis that 20 to 30 snakes could easily go unnoticed on an army base. Although...
My man who died of snake bite. Isn't that why you're here?
Why didn't you report it?
I'm sure no commanding officer likes losing any of his men, but it does happen. I lost one of my officers 2 months ago. Took his own life with a shotgun.
I didn't report the snake bite because someone also shot himself is an odd justification. Next, they meet Captain Delaney. I'm so glad I wore my good hair today.
Anytime you want to leave me alone with a sexy-looking young thing like Miss Bradley here.
How will the feminist Anne respond to that? Yeah, that seems in character. Tom is taken for a helicopter ride to look for snake tracks, and because there was apparently no other way to get the plot across.
Like last month, they get this big emergency rush job to bury this container out here. You see, George, we want you to treat this thing like it was an egg.
Are we still using the foreshadowing alarm?
What do you mean?
There was this old mine shaft they put it in.
Tom's heard enough.
The point is, I want to know what's in that mine shaft because I have a feeling it may have something to do with these snakebite cases.
Well, I'm sold. But wait, the mine shaft is nowhere near the base, and you had such strong evidence for that being the epicenter.
Well, see it?
Oh, no.
Tom and Anne head off again.
Something strange about that base, too.
You're looking for snakes. It's amazing how little time they spend doing that.
What was that?
That night, some soldiers get a puncture.
You know all that talk about rattlesnakes around here? That looks just like a snake bite.
Come on, no snake can bite through a tire.
Certainly not while it's moving.
Wait, let's get...
What? What is it?
Captain Delaney sent me to get you.
What is he, crazy? It's only 4 o'clock.
Someone better be dead. They head into the desert to search.
My God, there must have been 20 or 30 snakes here.
It takes a real expert to know that just from the tracks in the sand, in the dark, without even getting out of the car. They follow the tracks.
Looks like the tracks lead into that mine shaft.
My ridiculous hunch paid off.
What is that?
A kettle. They flee.
Get out of here!
You know, I could be working in an office for normal hours and better pay.
I've learnt my lesson. I'll be a secretary. Having discovered the snake's lair, they take immediate action by going to Vegas. There's a lot about this movie that is ill thought out, irritating, or just plain crap, but the trip to Vegas was a proper curveball and seems to exist only to get them into bed. He didn't spring for a hotel? What a cheapskate! Also, it's night. They got up at 4, went to the mine, went to Vegas, where it still seems to be night, then to bed. Either it's a very long night or it's the following night, and knowing where the snakes are, they just spent a day in Vegas.
What is it?
Snakes. Dozens of them all outside the tent.
See, this wouldn't be happening if you'd done your job. Back at the base, must get a shredder. Now we learn the truth.
We've got CT3.
Well, look what it did to those snakes.
We had a leaking canister, no time for safe disposal.
The Colonel takes action. How's he going to cover this up?
It looks like he shot and killed the medical officer and then took off.
Not even going to try. They head after him, driven by that same guy from earlier. Officer, I'll be dying later! Wow, didn't see that coming. This starts as Kingdom of the Spiders, but with snakes. It really becomes a completely different film. I don't know if that's because it's hard working with snakes, but it's hard to believe that anyone would go in with this as the ending. Gotta love the desperate attempt to make it look like a snake had anything to do with this. I'll push to the front to make it seem like I was remotely involved. Thanks for watching. Please bite the like button. What other movies come with a strong sense of this was way harder than we thought it was going to be? Let us know in the comments below.